First of all, guys, if you want to support me, the PayPal link will be down in the description, so thank you all. I got this idea some time ago when I figured that it's about time I release it. I had done one similar over in Anime King 2, but with a different element, the lightning one. So it's time that I release another. What if Naruto became the water element? Part 1, guys. If you're interested in want to see part 2, just go ahead and comment down below that you want part 2 and I'll be posting it as soon as humanly possible for you guys to enjoy. And if you're new, yes, my name is Anime King and I have 4 channels. This being one of them and 3 more for you guys to enjoy. If you're interested in daily what ifs, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, and this being anime symbol. So why don't you go ahead and join the Anime King family? So yeah, without further ado or wasting more time, let us begin this new episode. You have all of these things around. Destructive, powerful things that many people underestimate. Fire, a tool that could be used to burn, ravage and destroy. Lightning, an element from the heavens that struck with such a violent force, it could turn someone into a corpse. The earth itself, strength, power, wind, soft, breeze, deadly, sharp. The elements were indeed ferocious and powerful. However, there was one element in particular that blew the others away, while the others had their main attribute: to be controlled, to be manipulated in ways that could rewrite everything itself. After all, keenly focusing on many things, it is almost everywhere, even in the air, the moisture, even inside of the human body. It was water. And in this world, one boy will show the entire world what exactly water was, as he transcends the lines of normal. Watch as the structure of the entire known existence is changed and manipulated. Our story begins with a young boy known as Naruto Uzumaki. He had spiky, blonde hair, blue eyes that reflected like the ocean. At the moment, he seemed to be in a bad, extremely horrible situation as he lay at the bottom of what seemed to be an ocean, unmoving. He didn't seem to be moving one bit. For most people, this will spell the worst. For most people, this would be terrifying. A way to go out, starving of oxygen, as it rip away from you, as it grip your throat and tighten. However, he was so calm. He was so relaxed. This was definitely not normal. Then again, he was not normal. He opened his eyes as he was so calm about it, standing on the floor of the sea that he was in. Well, not exactly a sea, more like a river. He started to go to the surface, moving incredibly fast, showing that he had prior training, prior experience. As he got to the surface, bursting out of the water and jumping, he landed on the shore. He made his way towards a clock that was set up. He reached and picked it up as the timer was showing 2 hours. That was how long he was underwater for. Now that was not normal, not one bit. He picked the towel up that was nearby and dried himself off. As he reached for a shirt and placed it back on, just being within his shorts, he proceeded to sit down. As he reached for a book that was on the stump, he opened the book. In the book was a catalog of his time. 10 minutes, 20, 30, 40 and going on, to now 2 hours. Naruto Uzumaki was 9 years old. He would be 10 years old very soon. He was different from anyone else. Prime example, when he was tested. Flashback. Naruto blinked in shock. Standing in front of him was someone that he've come to know rather well. Naruto was 5 years old. He would be 6 years old soon enough. He would be going to the academy, but something was wrong. He brought his concerns to the old man. Hiruzen Sarutobi chastised Naruto for doing something that he wasn't ready for, trying to access his chakra and doing dangerous things. He learned by observing people. Learning about how to awaken his chakra was easy, but something was very wrong. Hiruzen had Naruto tested after Naruto brought up the subject that something was wrong with him. All the explanations, everything that was given, he simply could not produce the energy. Naruto was taken to a specialist, and now, as the words left Hiruzen's lips, the paper in his hand, I don't understand. The hand that fate had dealt him, the life that Naruto lived, had truly altered his personality from a normal child. Confusion marked his features as he looked at the old man in front of him, not quite understanding. He didn't understand what he was talking about. How am I alive? Naruto said. That's the thing. You do have chakra coursing through you. However, your body refused to produce even a tiny amount outwards to help in any of the forms of being a ninja. The enhancement of your limbs when it comes to taijutsu. The manipulation of the mind when it comes to genjutsu. And the molding of your chakra when it comes to external and internal elemental based jutsus. So you're saying I can never be a ninja? Naruto questioned. Hiruzen Sarutobi had seen a case like this before. He's seen a few cases, yes. They were rare, but there was ninjas that could not use chakra, but even then, they could at least pull it out slightly. It wouldn't work for them, but Naruto's body was different. It was like the moment his chakra started to come forward, it just stopped. Hiruzen's theory was almost rock solid. There was a huge problem. However, Naruto did not know about that. He saw the look on Naruto's face, that crushing blow. It was something that he desired. Naruto was a quiet child. Growing up was a prime example of that. He didn't confront people that often. He was always in the back. So much so that people tend to not notice him that much. Over the years, the hate, the isolation had gone down significantly because Naruto did not draw them to him. Instead, he avoided. He did not make a goof of himself to gain the attention. Because unlike most people, he enjoyed being alone. But the one thing that he wanted, the one thing that he craved for was actually becoming a ninja. It was a dream of his. Hiruzen did not know the details behind it, but he knew it. And he was the one that had to deliver the crushing blow. he saw the light in his eyes. Hiruzen believed that this was a cause of the beast that resided inside of him, that it messed up his system so bad, it was stopping him from producing the life essence that they all wield. This was bad by a viewing standpoint as well, because they had no idea what would happen if Naruto was to be infected by that cursed power. Would he be able to fight it off, given that he does not produce enough power to release on his own? They had no idea. They were just praying that the seal holds up. But they had faith in their former Hokage though, the man that placed a seal on the young boy. That day Naruto went home, feeling depressed, feeling awful. He filled his bathtub up. Every now and again he enjoyed a very long soak. It was something that relaxes him. However, he lied there for so long, not having the energy to do anything because of the crushing news. He didn't even realize when he started to drift off. And thus, Naruto found himself in the water. First time being underwater for so long. You would expect his breath to run out immediately, but 10 minutes, 10 whole minutes Naruto was underwater and yet nothing. When bubbles leave his mouth as he opened his eyes, Naruto burst outwards. Realizing what took place, he fell asleep. But he had no idea that his body was able to retain and survive for so long. Curiosity. Yes, he was curious, taking his mind off the one shattering reality that he would never be a ninja. Trying his best to focus on something else, knowing that his life would be ordinary. Nothing special. Naruto started to test this. He was surviving underwater much longer than your average individual. Doing a bit of reading in the library shows him that he was correct, and he had no prior training. The more time passed, the more this started to get better and better, and longer as well. Perhaps there was still hope. He was curious. Once, underwater for a good 30 minutes, Naruto could feel the element around him, trying to bend it and use it, trying to affect it in ways that would be able to be beneficial for him in the future. Something abnormal happened as he twirled his arms. He created a bubble of sorts, coming underwater, but he wondered to himself. He exited the water and tried for that day, but he was unsuccessful, which made him feel hopeless once again. However, if he continued doing this, he would never achieve anything, so he continued. He continued. He continued. He continued. Until, tears in his eyes, Naruto looked into the center of his palm to see a small bubble. It was a water bubble. He cried, not in sadness, but in pure joy, pure happiness. He cried. He pulled it off. It took him a long time, but he did it. He was able to produce water. No source, just bringing it together. He might not have chakra, but it seems like he has something else to use. The first thing he did was head to the office. However, he collapsed, feeling so dreamed out. Realized that he spent the better part of a few hours trying to pull that off. However, when he was back, the Hokage once again turned down his proposal. Very much intrigued how did Naruto pull it off, but Naruto's avenue of using chakra-based techniques was perhaps going to be very non-existent. However, that wasn't the only thing that he could rely on. So focused on trying to prove the Hokage wrong, Naruto has been trying to show that he had something after discovering his strange connection to the water. However, there was a different avenue. A boy who recently started the academy had been seen by a Jonin due to his unwavering ability not to give up no matter what. So despite the academy having special rules for one to advance to become a ninja, there are some tricks to go around it. No, said Naruto. Hiruzen was rather surprised by that. This is something. It's something special. And I'll find out what it is. And that's a promise. And I do not break my promises. It's a part of my code, said Naruto. Hiruzen smiled when he heard that. Alright, Naruto, he said. I'll give you my full support. But you have to do something else for me. What's that? If this doesn't work out. But I said if. I want you to do something else. Hiruzen already had the books prepared. You're a very smart boy who understands that you need a second step. Something just in case the first step doesn't work. Take these. They focus on training the mind and the body as well. Most of the body. You have to venture in different avenues to ensure that if that area doesn't work out, your strength won't be lacking and you can indeed become a ninja. I can have special circumstances that help you when the time does come. I'll give you a couple of years. When you're 10 years old, that will be the day that you will have to pick and choose one. And if this area doesn't pan out, you have to go with the other one. Am I understood? Hiruzen said, giving Naruto a chance. Fine, said Naruto. He picked up the books. I'll do them both. Hiruzen smiled when he heard that, seeing the unbreakable spirit within the boy. Curious about this, Hiruzen decided that he would allow Naruto to venture in this avenue. Perhaps it was something that was a unique trait about him. Being the Hokage, Hiruzen had a lot on his plate, but he would ensure checking on Naruto every now and again. In the flashback, for the past couple of years, Naruto had kept majority of what he was doing to himself, waiting on his 10th birthday to reveal how much he has grown. Majority of Hiruzen books that he gave Naruto was about strengthening one's body. There were at least 15 different exercises that could strengthen your upper torso alone. Naruto had been working with majority of them. Legs, back, arms, every part of him. However, a huge amount of his time had been focused on understanding more about his connection to the water. And he has had great progress. For the next couple of weeks, Naruto kept on going, continuously training, upping his ability and getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Even while he was in the class, Naruto was using the arm workout under the table, squeezing the little dumbbell together, trying to strengthen his grasp. He was given a challenge, and he would not fail this challenge. His birthday was coming up soon enough. Someone in the class noticed as they saw Naruto's arm under the table. It was Kiba Inuzaka as he noticed what Naruto was squeezing. Hey, what's that? He said. It's nothing important. Come on, what is it? It's just an arm workout exercise, Naruto said. I see. Trying to get better in secret, Kiba said. Kiba, be quiet. Their sensei Iruka called out to them, as Naruto's gaze was focused down below. As Kiba turned his gaze around, as Naruto returned back to his exercise. He wasn't the populous person in the class. Far from it. Naruto didn't know why. In the beginning, some people were hurt by his existence. Most of the adults, he never understood it. However, he was not someone that would get in their face and demand to be seen or heard. And because of that, little by little, they stopped seeing him because he stopped drawing attention to himself. They wanted to stay away, so he stayed away. There was reasons behind that he did not know. The old man always gave him a lot. And whenever he truly focused down on it, the man brought up his rank, being the leader. Someone that knew better than him. But Naruto knew there was something that he was keeping away from him. What exactly this was, he had no idea. However, too focused on his own task to focus on anyone else, Naruto did not put that much stock in it, as he kept on focusing on his promise. And he was desperate to make his promise a reality. Time skip. Hiruzen Sarutobi was out of the office. Naruto had turned 10 a couple weeks ago. In order to prove a demonstration Naruto had brought him to train in Ground 12, one of the more open training field, and unlike the other ones, this had a massive river within the center. A lot of ninjas use it as training their water element. It wasn't that deep. However, it was deep enough. Hiruzen Sarutobi accompanied Naruto. After all, it was time. And after all these years of practicing his secret, it was time that he showed him what he has accomplished. Because Hiruzen had to make a choice. He believed in Naruto enough to give him the chance to train his body for the past couple of years without supervising him, without taking the option out of his hand. After all, that young boy that he was speaking about earlier that was gonna get through the academy because of special advancements, that was due to another Jonin sensei known as Might Guy, who saw a fire in one of the boys. His name was Rock Lee. However, Hiruzen would have to make some changes, one of those changes being allowing Naruto to graduate at 11 years old and not 12 years old. But first thing first, he was here to see the demonstration that Naruto told him that he was going to be happy about. As he stood there, "Alright," said Naruto, "watch this." He held his hand out. Hiruzen Sarutobi stood there and watched as small droplets of water started to gather until it formed a solid ball. Naruto removed his hand as it hovered there. Hiruzen was intrigued as he stepped forward. "And this is just the beginning," said Naruto as he thrust his hand out. It slammed into a tree, breaking the bark, not going through it or piercing the tree, but it broke the bark, allowing it to fall down to the ground. "And that's just number one," Naruto said. He walked towards the river and stepped on it, completely fine as he was walking on top of the water. Hiruzen was alarmed, shocked by what he was looking at. As Naruto stood in the center of the river, he held his hand out and closed his eyes. "Got you," he said. He gripped his fist and raised it. A water bubble came up. Inside of it was a fish, swimming around. Naruto returned back to the shore with a smile on his face. Hiruzen was shocked though at what he just witnessed. Things took a different turn than Naruto expected. He was put through multiple tests. The doctors that were there, chakra expert specialists, found themselves confused. They were lost. Hiruzen had lived on this earth for a long time. He was known as a professor due to his consumption of knowledge of many things over the past couple of years, and yet, this was confusing to him. Naruto was able to manipulate water without any source of chakra connection. Now that was the most confusing part about it, as he didn't quite understand how that was possible. Every single expert that Hiruzen brought in to be a part of this test found it rather confusing as well. They've never come across this, and it intrigued them greatly. They were even saying that Naruto was the next step in an evolution. Him being able to manipulate the elements without chakra was something that they've never seen, but they believed that it was the next step of a shinobi. And this boy had broken through the barrier, being the first of his kind to ever do something like this. When Hiruzen first saw the technique that Naruto did, he simply believed that it was nothing that would ever reach this level. That is why he didn't put that much stock in it. But now, this was more than impressive. Time skip. 2 years flew by. Naruto had kept to his word, so Hiruzen had to keep to his as well. Over the past 2 years, now with the help of more understanding and more powerful people, trying to understand, as all of the doctors there were intrigued. They believed that Naruto was a miracle, as he's breaking through the evolutional stagnant of shinobis. They believed that through him there would be many others that would be able to blend with the other elements, that would be a part of it, that would be the elements just like he was able to manipulate the water. A connection was forged between him and the surface of the water itself. Things became even more shocking when Naruto spent 4 hours underwater without having any breathing difficulty problems. Now that was truly shocking. A full physical was done on his body, and yet his body seemed to be changing. His bone structures were strong, but they seemed to be congealing with a strange energy source. They believed that it was the fluctuation of water. However, having that much water inside the human body, despite the body basically being made up of 70%, would lead to detrimental side effects. But somehow his body was stable. Every single information was recorded and written down, as this was the first in a breaking evolutionary standpoint, and they were going to be the one to document it. Naruto had no idea that it was such a big deal, as he observed and watched the people and the way they act. However, with more help, Naruto started to learn much more. Naruto was able to bend the water around him, allowing it to evaporate. Naruto was able to create a large mist that surrounded him. The radius was not that large, but the radius was large enough to blanket him. However, if he was in a rather obvious place, he would be seen pretty easily due to the mist. So he had to learn how to spread it in an entire environment for it to be effective, but as it wasn't effective in the slightest. It just made a lot of mist that would be very visible to the enemy. At the moment, Naruto was struggling, as a glob of water was in the air in front of him. The water was twisting and bending as Naruto's hands were shaking as he tried to create and create and twist and meld. And it worked. A stable kunai was formed from the water, it being the same form as the water though, which would make it pretty weak, as it wasn't a solid. He didn't know how to properly splash. It deformed and splashed to the ground. He had a very long way to go. In 5 months, he would be taking the exams. For the next 5 months, Naruto trained, but he did not leave out his body though, due to his constant moving around his schedule, as Naruto was up to doing around 500 push-ups. He ran around the entire field several times. He did pull-ups, everything squats, to strengthen his form. Due to the books that were given to him, Naruto knew a lot more about the anatomy than most children his age. Understanding the pressure points, understanding the proper way to strike, most of the elbow strike, not to mention the most effective way to hit someone to cause them the most pain, or to hit someone to discombobulate them. For the next 5 months, Naruto worked on a lot of things, trying to form weapons out of the water, trying to form shields to protect himself. However, his level was basic, and a strong enough attack from a Chunin, perhaps a strong genin, could easily overpower him. Then again, he was still a kid. He was still learning. Due to the special circumstances, Naruto did not participate in the final tests. Hiruzen had told him that there was some exceptions, and this was one of them. However, before he could move on, the Hokage was there to witness how much he's grown in the last 2.5 years. Naruto was able to create stronger water projectiles. Hiruzen looked at it like a water bullet, a common jutsu when it came to the water release. However, Naruto called it the pressure strike. It was a concentrated amount of water pulled together in the form of a water bullet. It was a bit stronger than your average water technique, due to Naruto being able to make the water much more solid than your ninja could curve it and twist it together. Well, when you were talking about a Chunin level ninja, Jonin level or higher would outperform him every single time. So for now, his technique was doable in the sense of protection when it came to people around his level, and maybe a bit stronger. But that was not all. Just like with the fish that he took from the water, Naruto gained a sense of water sensory, allowing him to detect movement in nearby streams. But not in the ear just as yet, but in the streams around him. His mid-level abilities were proven to be much more greater than Hiruzen thought, as he could see the future of Naruto's growth, and there was great things, extremely so. The test that he gave Naruto proved to be more substantial than he could have ever hoped for. His raw determination, his drive to keep on going and not give up no matter what, was constantly pushing him, and Hiruzen was rather proud of him. Time skip. Naruto arrived to the academy, now sporting a headband on his forehead. However, due to the lack of things that he cannot really do due to the lack of manipulation of his chakra, Naruto wanted to find a way. However, he was having a hard time. He was trying to form a solid clone made from water, but it was not working out as he thought. He spoke to the Hokage, who told him that a technique like that was already available to many. But Naruto didn't just want a clone that would get hit and then burst into water. He needed to make the water stronger. He needed more pressure, but the control is where he was lacking. Hiruzen didn't give him anything too advanced. He told Naruto that he will have a Jonin sensei to guide him, and he's the one that he must go to. He's the one that will help him. Then again, the Hokage has given Naruto more than he's given your average child. Those books and all the help so far. So that was a bit of a favoritism towards him. Then again, Naruto was going to be something truly special. Not that the others weren't, well, special in their own way. After all, you had some really heavy hitters there, such as Sasuke Uchiha, for example. Team 7, as Naruto heard his name, he wasn't really friends with Sasuke or Sakura Haruno. He had a few friends in the class: Shino Aberami, Shikamaru Nara, Choji Akimichi, even Kiba. However, most of the girls around Sasuke were too loud for him not being a person to confront someone that publicly. He never really looked their way. After all, he was too busy focusing on his own growth. As the teams were announced, he was placed on Team 7 with Sasuke Uchiha and Sakura Haruno. Naruto grades were kind of lacking due to his focus being only on one thing, and that was to get better at his water manipulation. But Team 7 was already structured, as Hiruzen had made changes. Before, he wanted to make Naruto graduate early, but after witnessing what Naruto was able to do, well, he found a solution for that. As the other teams left, Kiba telling them that they would have the Saki Jonin, seeing that they weren't even here yet, whoever it was. Sakura Haruno sat there. She was excited. She was on a team with her Sasuke-kun. However, she didn't know that much about Naruto. She knew that he did not talk that much, but he was friends with some of the other boys in the class. None of them really know one another, as they sat there waiting. After 50 minutes went by, Sakura had to voice her opinion. This has to be some sort of joke, she said. Why did everyone else get their Jonin sensei and yet ours hasn't even shown up yet? as she waited for one of them to respond. Naruto was the one that actually spoke. Perhaps something caught his attention, said Naruto. That's not an excuse, she said. At least tell us that you're going to be late. She sat down with a huff. Sasuke was not pleased as well. He expected someone great after all. He was Sasuke Uchiha. Soon enough they were greeted by none other than Kakashi Hatake. The next moment Team 7 found themselves on the roof, after being told to come up there. As Kakashi asked them about their dreams and their hopes, what they desired, Sakura could only focus on one thing, and that was Uchiha. Sasuke's vengeance was strong. Naruto was a bit more complicated. He wasn't exactly sure what he desired just yet. For now, he desired to become a ninja. The next day, Team 7 gathered. Once again they had to wait, but at least not for too long. I smiled at them when he arrived. You're late again, Sakura said. Oh, there was this black cat in my path, so I had to take the long way around. The three members' sweat dropped at his remark. They all gave him the same look that meant, really? As if they were that stupid. Team 7 had to flash away, as they were told what the parameters of the test was. Turns out that it was more complicated than they thought. Naruto observed from where he was as Sasuke took on their sensei, but he got buried. Naruto sat there, wondering how it would be possible for them to defeat this man one-on-one. Sakura, while she was a bit smarter than most, she lacked fighting experience and anything when it came to physical altercation. An idea struck Naruto. It was what Iruka had said countless times. Most of the times things will be bad. You will feel like there is nothing left. There is no hope. Most of the times you will be surrounded, outgunned, outmanned. But always remember, believe in your comrades. Believe in your friends, who will be there to help you through some of the most thickest sensations. As he retold them stories of his past, the students had gotten rather bored one day. Saying that he was just wasting their time, one of them had spoken up. They wanted to know about what it meant to be a ninja. Could it be, Naruto wondered to himself. The man was paying them no attention, returning back to his book. Naruto made his way, making his way towards Sasuke. Sasuke glared up at him, feeling humiliated. Naruto pressed both of his hands on the ground. The ground got soggy and moist, allowing Naruto to plunge his hand right through it. He ripped Sasuke out of the ground. He brushed himself off. I didn't need your help. I could do that by myself. Then why didn't you? Said Naruto. Sasuke froze in his remark. What do you want? He said. I have an idea on how we can actually win. You think you can beat him? Sasuke said, finding that crazy to believe. Naruto wasn't anything special. No, I can't. And you can't either. Tuh. Don't give me your speech, said Naruto. You tried and you failed. Fighting him one-on-one is a waste of time. Both of them snapped their head to the foliage when they heard Sakura screaming. Seems like he's ready to pick us off one by one. I doubt he would go too far though. I think we need to work together. Why the hell do I need to work together with you guys? Sasuke said. Naruto gave him a look. Are you that arrogant to believe that you can do this by yourself even after drastically failing? That was simply a mess up, a slip up. Now that I know how he operates, I'll win. Naruto grabbed Sasuke's arm before he could walk away. Listen to me. This man is standing in the way of me achieving a dream that I had for some time now. And that is to become a ninja, said Naruto. I don't know why, but I desired that a long time ago. To go out on missions to see the world. And I need to become a ninja in order to do that. And I want to get stronger as well. And I need a proper teacher to help me. However, I can't do this on my own. And I need your help. You fail. It's time for you to give in, said Naruto. Sasuke slapped away Naruto's hand. You have no idea what I'm capable of, he said. I haven't failed just yet. Naruto looked at him once again, as he gazed down towards a hole. The hole that Sasuke was just buried in. Fine, said Naruto. 5 seconds. Both of us will fight for 5 seconds. If you're able to drop me, I'll leave you alone and I won't bother you. If I'm able to put you down on the ground, you will do my plan without much of a hesitation. Deal? Why would I accept that deal, Sasuke said. It's just a waste of time. I thought you were Sasuke Uchiha, the greatest in the academy. You should have no problem putting someone like me down. After all, you were number 1 in the class. Fine, Sasuke said. If you just want to piss me off to get your ass kicked, then I'll give you that. The both of them stepped away from each other. Ready? Just started already, said Sasuke as they ran at each other. Kakashi Hatake, seeing them confronting one another, was disappointed, believing that they were fighting on which one of them to go for the bells, judging that there was only 2 of them. However, as Sasuke swung a right, but that was a fake as his leg came up, Naruto slipped past him. Despite the ground being all, dirt, he slipped like it was made of water or glass. Naruto buried his fist within Sasuke's gut. Sasuke was caught off guard as he collapsed, feeling the pain shoot through him. What the hell? He thought in confusion as he gazed up towards Naruto. I win, said Naruto. Time skip. Sasuke was wrong, and Naruto was correct. Team 7 working together was what was needed. However, Sakura got captured, so she was tied to a post and they shouldn't feed her. The problem was they still hadn't received the bell. Naruto gazed at her. She was starving. As the both of them had lunch in their hands, Naruto got up and held peace out to her face with a chopstick. What are you doing? Sensei warned you, she said. It doesn't matter what he said. If you're hungry, you can't operate at your fullest. And you not being able to operate would lessen our chances. Realizing that Naruto was right, due to him being unable to beat Kakashi by himself, regrettably Sasuke got to his feet. As he held out as well, Sakura was shocked. He was feeding her. Immediately she bit down. No hesitation. She then started to eat from Naruto as well. And then he arrived. However, he greeted them with an eye smile. He made it look rather dramatic, but he was happy. Time skip. Hiruzen was in the office with Kakashi Hatake. Kakashi was told that Naruto was a special case from the beginning, but it was more than he expected. So you're saying that he can manipulate water without any use of chakra? Exactly. Right now his level is rather small and his radius is rather insignificant to pose much of a threat. But I believe with much more help, he could break these limits rather easily. He surpassed my expectation by breaking certain levels that I didn't expect him to actually be able to perform. Naruto is a very smart child. He's also a curious child as well. So I have no doubt in my mind that you're going to be bombarded with questions. Kakashi assured the man that he would do his best. And Hiruzen was right. It was the first day. Naruto wanted to know exactly the difference between his manipulation and Kakashi's. Kakashi was able to wield all the elements, and there was a special reason behind that. However, Kakashi, he realized that there were certain things that he hadn't really thought about even teaching them yet. However, if Naruto asked him that question, he was going to tell the rest. Elemental manipulation. Sasuke hailed from a powerful clan that was no longer here, but everyone possessed a special affinity. Some might have multiple, some might have even 3. On rare cases, they would have 4. However, no one was born with 5. One can learn 5 but not born with it, as the Kakashi knowledge of course. The copy ninja, he watches each member seem to captivate to his words. He wonder, did Minato sensei ever feel this way with his team? Kakashi left for that moment, saying that he would be back. He knew that they weren't ready for something like this. However, he was just there as their teacher to show them. So these papers are going to tell us what elements we have. That's correct, he said to Sakura. All you need to do is apply your chakra to the paper, and you will find out. Naruto was confused, because he wouldn't be able to do that. He could not release his chakra. The copy ninja though was curious. I want you to do something else. That feeling you get when you manipulate the molecules of the water, I want you to send that to the paper. But it's just gonna get damp, said Naruto. Perhaps. Or perhaps something else will happen. After all, your situation is strange. Sakura wasn't paying much attention to their conversation, but Sasuke was, wondering what he was talking about. Sasuke then applied his chakra as the paper did 2 things: crinkle and burn. Sakura did the same thing as the paper crumbled up. What does that mean? She said. She looked at it confused. The copy ninja waited until Naruto did something, but after 5 seconds nothing happened. Until the molecules of the paper started to change. The paper did not get damp. The paper did not absorb his chakra, but the paper changed. The paper became a solid congealed force of water with the same structure and the same build. Kakashi had to ask Naruto to hand it over, and he felt it. It replicated the same feeling of the paper, but that's impossible. It burst in his hand a moment later though. The look on his face told him that Naruto did something strange a moment ago, and crazy enough, all they could see was his eye. But they could tell a lot of emotions from that eye. He cleared his throat, explaining about Sasuke and Sakura's. Naruto was a different case entirely. Team 7 found themselves doing a D-rank mission for the day, as Kakashi was standing there, talking to Naruto while they plow the field. It seems your ability is much more in-depth than we originally thought. Not only were you able to replicate the structure, but the exact same feeling. Something like that shouldn't be quite possible, the copy ninja said. It didn't matter the gravity of manipulation a person had over their chakra. To manipulate the same feeling of a paper, it should be, impossible, but he saw it and he felt it as well. Naruto felt proud hearing that, as he had an idea now, an idea that he never had before. Later that day, we find Naruto hurling a kunai through the air as it slammed into the tree. The kunai was made from water, as it burst and returned back to him. Kakashi gave him the solution that he needed. The copy ninja said it himself. He manipulated the molecules of the water, and it take on the same structure. So Naruto simply focused on manipulating the internal molecules of water that he summoned, not trying to shape it, but to manipulate it into something else, not shape it. And he was right. The kunai formed, and this time, it wasn't some floppy piece of water that could dispel a moment quickly. It was tough, durable enough to stab the tree. The only thing that was different was the color. He had the shape perfectly down, having held multiple kunais in his life, since he started to go deeper within his training. Naruto finished off the day with exercising, running, push-ups, pull-ups. He also focused on a technique that he was trying to create, the structures of the human anatomy. He was trying to focus on forming a technique that would be fit for speed, given the swiftness of his attacks and the swiftness of his abilities. He was trying to get something that would help him greatly in that field. The books were really helping a lot, as he's almost completely finished them. Most of the stuff in it was not actually extreme for someone like a Jonin, but it was enough for now. Once those were done, he would move on to more dangerous topics when it came to the human body, when it came to fighting. Those things were restricted in the past, but now that he was a ninja, he could check some of them out, and he was looking forward to it. A month later, we find Naruto once again, and this time, he was trying to replicate the clone technique that he was never going to be able to use when it came to chakra. However, each time he tried to form a clone, it looked nothing like him. He tried to shape it, he tried to manipulate it, but it looked absolutely nothing like him. However, he was able to create a humanoid figure individual from nothing but water. However, maintaining this for long, it was stagnant on him. Extremely so. And Naruto did not know why, given how frequently he could create multiple weapons. Granted, they might not be as powerful as real weapons, or as durable as of yet, but still. Once again, Naruto questioned his sensei on many things. Due to Naruto being so curious about a lot, Team 7 was actually benefiting a lot. Having known that the both of them possess control over their elements, Sakura wanted to know why she wasn't taught that. The copy ninja was not ready to teach them that yet, but Sakura was rather persistent on it. Sasuke can do the fireball jutsu, Naruto could launch water bullets. He decided that he would help her as well when it came to this area. First thing first though, they needed to get a better grasp over their chakra. The copy ninja knew a way that would help them and also be greatly beneficial: the tree walking exercise. Unfortunately though, Naruto could not do this. Sakura got it right away. Sasuke was having a difficult time, but as he said, he was an Uchiha. He would get it down. There was now two things that Naruto had to worry about. However, this exercise, Kakashi said something that gave Naruto an idea. Use too much, and the tree bark would shatter. Use too little, and you will slip off. The copy ninja, words were giving Naruto something to try. So when Naruto got home that day, this time he formed the clone with as little as possible effort. It was blank, without a face, without anything to show a gender. Just someone standing there that was the same height as him. Naruto then stepped towards it and placed his hand on his chest, remembering what he did to the paper. But the molecules were already made up to change its form. This time though, he was trying to manipulate it to give it sentience. A copy of his own understanding. At first nothing happened, as Naruto tried it again, but nothing was happening. Until the thing moved its leg. It tilted its head, face blank and empty. It looked down towards its hand. There was no fingers, just stubs. It held its hand up as fingers started to grow out of the water. Naruto was alarmed. Was it learning from him? It started to walk towards a tree and place its hand on it. It then started to move up the tree by just walking on it. What the hell? Naruto had an idea of what happened. He had been thinking hard on how to achieve the tree walking. It has to be that the reason why that was the first thing that it went to. How in the hell was it able to do that though? It came back down and stepped towards him and held its hand out. Do you want me to? Naruto placed his hand into his. Suddenly, it returned back to liquid form and flew into him. It absorbed itself through his pores. Naruto was confused, but he saw it. He saw the memory of what it did. But not only that, Naruto knew how it did what it did. By a normal explanation, this should be impossible. Normal water ran down things. Due to gravity, that was the explanation. But the moment he created water, the moment water was connected to him, the molecules are electrified with a strange energy that was inside of him. And he doubted that this was his chakra. Whatever it was connected to him. That was the reason why he could absorb this into his pores without affecting him. That was the reason why he could make this without any problem. So that meant Naruto stepped to the tree and started to walk. Somehow defying gravity. Next moment though, he fell right on his butt. I guess it's not gonna be that easy. He looked at the bottom of his sandals and noticed that water was there. His body was producing it even beyond the clothing that he was wearing in order to allow him to walk up the tree. Now that was awesome. Within the trees watching him was Kakashi Hatake. The copy ninja was getting shocked more and more by what Naruto was achieving. Because what Naruto was doing was basically removing gravity from what he was doing. And that should be impossible, but yet, once again he was seeing it with his own eyes. And he was truly intrigued by what he was looking at. Time skip. Things were going rather well for Team 7. They weren't fighting. They weren't communicating like he wanted, but they spoke to one another every now and again. And they did train with one another. Sasuke's pride was high. Sasuke had been bested by Naruto even though it was 5 seconds. And he wanted to go back on top, which led him to challenge Naruto on multiple occasions. Naruto, being someone that wanted to test his own strength, was also doing the same thing. After another couple of weeks, the copy ninja believed that they were ready to go to the outside world. He wanted them to go up against the world for them to gain more experience. Time skip. Packed and ready, Team 7 was venturing along with a man that none of them really fancied that much, due to him insulting all of them when he first met them. His name was Tazuna. He was a bridge builder. The place was insanely hot. Naruto was used to the water. He was used to being in water. He was used to being around it. He was feeling dried out. His skin was even looking a bit pale. Perhaps it was the years of being in water that much. Now being without it, he found himself dry and, well, tired. However, despite not even reaching it, Naruto could smell it. He could feel it. He could hear it. However, someone was inside of it. An illusion mixed with water. Naruto could feel it. For the first time, as he could literally feel the illusion, due to the connection that he shared with the water that was there. He gazed over towards his sensei and whispered to him. "We have a problem," he said. "Oh? What's that?" said Kakashi. "There is 2 people up ahead, hiding inside of a puddle, with an illusion over it," said Naruto. "Where?" Kakashi asked. "We haven't reached them yet, but I can feel it. It's the only water source around here for a bit," Naruto said. Kakashi was rather shocked that Naruto was able to sense that far. His connection with the water seemed to be growing exponentially as he recalled his conversation with the Hokage. Flashback. His connection with the water is getting stronger. I've never seen anything like this before. It's operating as a single mind when it comes to him. He's able to build. He's able to forge. He's able to manipulate the molecules so much that he's able to bring forward reality out of water itself. Hiruzen had asked for updates. However, he never expected that Naruto would grow this much in a short amount of time. He was curious himself. The doctors rave, the experts rave about him being the next step in human evolution. And he wanted to be able to monitor this, to make sure that Naruto was not being overwhelmed, to make sure that things were going okay. Kakashi was giving him reports on what Naruto has been accomplishing so far, and the things that he's been asking. Hiruzen just want to be kept into the loop. After all, Naruto wasn't your average child, and there were things that he doesn't know, things that he doesn't even know about himself just yet. It seems like his ability with the water has not extended for him to find out about that. Hiruzen wondered to himself, should he tell Naruto about this before he finds out about it himself? Speaking to Kakashi about a future mission that would entail them leaving the village. He will inform Naruto once he returned, once he was able to see the outside world and knowing what he's been striving for and fighting for. Yes, that will be the right thing to do. After all, their outside mission would be a simple one. Nothing too hassle, nothing too dangerous. In the flashback, as they reached the puddle, Naruto came to a stop all of a sudden. Sakura tensing up, Sasuke readying himself. Naruto had told the both of them what was going on. He slammed his hand on the ground as the water exploded out. The demon brothers, though, reacted just as fast. They blitzed past the three of them. Kakashi, who should be more than enough, got ripped in half. However, Naruto immediately knew that wasn't Kakashi. The human body composed of many water. Yes, the human body was made up of water. And Naruto felt nothing when he burst. That meant it was not Kakashi. Miyaizu and Gozu immediately turned and dashed. 3 more to go, they said. However, Naruto created nails out of the water that they erupted from and sent it through the links of the chain that pinned it to the ground. Sasuke leaped, delivering a brutal kick, seeing that their arm was stuck. 3 water bullets slammed into the other one's chest. Naruto sped forward. He slipped right under the blade that swung at his head. Now behind the man, he twisted and kicked him in the back. The chain broke as he removed it from the gauntlet and swung his other arm around. Naruto slipped past it, using the dexterity of his manipulation on the bottom of his feet. His gaze focused towards Sasuke. As Sasuke saw Naruto look down, understanding, he moved back. Naruto's hand hit the ground as all the water shoot upwards, breaking the earth and slamming into both brothers. Sasuke finished his hand sign and launched a fireball that took them out of the air. The both of them crashed, burned and in pain, but trying to get up, only for 2 hands to grab them and smash their head into the ground. They were out cold. Sakura breathed a sigh of relief as she saw her sensei back on his feet. However, Kakashi had a proud-eyed smile after what he just witnessed, and they were just getting started. However, in that moment, Naruto felt something. One of the demon brothers were bleeding, and Naruto felt a connection to the blood. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see next part and do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification they posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. But I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.